A new report, CBS's Miami affiliate, by a fellow named Rick Fulbom, shines light upon a pressing issue all too often ignored. Women flocking to the United States in order to take advantage of our country's notoriously generous birthright citizenship policy. If a woman is here on vacation or just passing through and gives birth to a child on American soil, boom, automatic citizenship. It may be that neither the child nor his parents have any ties whatsoever to the United States, yet the child is now an American citizen, just as if his parents had worked, paid taxes, been part of American society for years. Now, these children not only reap the incalculable advantages of U.S. citizenship, but when they turn 21, get this, they can sponsor their family's U.S. residency, hence the term anchor babies. Can we use these phrases? We might better call this unconditional citizenship. All that's required is that the child be on American soil at the time of his birth. It generally matters not who the parents are, how they arrived here, why and how long they've been here, or whether they will remain here. Never paid a single dollar of tax in the United States or worked here a day, we will confer citizenship on your child nonetheless. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, this is a perverse interpretation of the 14th Amendment and the word jurisdiction, which I'll get to in a moment. To be clear, there are two instances referred to as birthright citizenship, one of which is fair, she writes, and one of which is ridiculous. The first is citizenship obtained at birth because at least one of the parents was a citizen at the time. This is referred to, in Latin, right of blood, and it makes sense. This would be for you Ted Cruz anti-citizenship kooks out there. The other, right of the soil, citizenship granted simply by virtue of the child's being born on that territory. Now, for good reason, most nations, including every single European nation, shun the soil-based right and instead grant citizenship only on this principle of right of blood. Out of the world's advanced countries, only two grant automatic citizenship to those born on their soil, Canada and the United States. So how did this happen? She says it's thanks to the 14th Amendment, which reads, all persons born or naturalized in the United States, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. The language was originally intended to rightly confer citizenship on freed slaves and their children. But the champions of this other form, the right of soil citizenship, conveniently ignore consideration of the phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof, as a myriad of legal scholars have questioned whether this language does in fact support such an approach. I not only have questioned it, I've talked about it at length. And I've given the history behind the 14th Amendment, and it clearly does not. While a tourist or undocumented immigrant, aka illegal alien, is technically subject to our laws while visiting, if he commits crime, he'll be arrested. No, not necessarily. Is that the same type of subject to American jurisdiction the 14th Amendment's authors had in mind? Answer, no. And it goes on. And she's pointing out that we actually have, well, let me read this to you. As the website Numbers USA reported back in 2011, a cottage industry is built up around the U.S. system of birthright citizenship. Dozens of firms exploit birthright citizenship by authoring birth tourism packages online. I said birth tourism packages online. Or Jeb Bush would say, love trips. Well-heeled pregnant tourists pay $5,000 to $15,000, depending on the package, in exchange for a room, medical assistance, and a newborn U.S. citizen. Some packages also include sightseeing. Hey, I have an idea. Let's have our baby and check out Niagara Falls. Once the child is born, they get a U.S. birth certificate and passport for the child, and their future link to this country is established and irreversible. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, because of chain migration. Once that child born into the United States is a citizen, as I said, when that son or daughter becomes 21, they can bring their parents in, and many more people than their parents, their grandparents, their siblings. Has any politician talked about this lately? I've been listening. I haven't heard Paul Ryan bring this up. I haven't heard Jeb Bush bring this up. I haven't heard Boehner bring it up. I haven't heard any of that. Has anybody heard any of them? No. Who's going to pick our lettuce but for these people? That's them, not me saying that. Now, the birth tourism industry provides unsettling answers to the questions, is U.S. citizenship for sale, and what is U.S. citizenship worth? Now, the CBS Miami report mentioned earlier lifts the veil on the alarming number of Russian women who flock to South Florida precisely in order to give birth, then return home to magnificent motherland. And he reports tiny red-covered feet kick at new life, born here in the USA, but headed back to Mother Russia on a nonstop flight from Miami to Moscow. It's all part of a booming baby business created by women living in the former Soviet bloc countries, who want the benefits of giving birth to an American citizen. For a week, CBS 4 Miami watched the check-in counter of the official Russian Airlines Aeroflot at Miami International as dozens of women with tiny newborns prepared to board a flight with the newest member of their family, an infant and instant U.S. citizen. Did you come here to give birth? Asked our interpreter of a woman checking into the Aeroflot flight with an infant. Yes, nodded the new mother. These businesses tend to charge between $20,000 and $100,000, acting as a sort of pregnancy concierge, recommending doctors and hospitals short-term housing and transportation. Ladies and gentlemen, does this make you sick to your stomach? According to the news report, just one of these birth concierge businesses estimates that 60 Russian women travel to South Florida specifically for this reason each and every month. Add to that mothers from other nations. Numbers USA mentions South Korea, China, as well as Mexico. Destinations in America other than South Florida. Other concierge businesses, those who do not use a concierge service, and you have a number that is much, much higher than a few dozen per month. So why is this practice allowed to continue? It's called love. They love America. Simple as that. Everybody loves America. Everybody loves America except the liberals. They hate America. They want to fundamentally transform my beloved America. But apparently everybody else loves America. That's it. Love. I thought you'd want to know